the result, negative or positive, about what happens when we have to isolate. So today I've got a very special guest on this show. She's an international best-selling author. She's a Roku TV show host. She's a consultant for many people in many areas for using ancient wisdom and some good old common sense to get your life in order. And she's a former fitness professional. I just found out she was a hostess on a private jet for a while. That's another topic for the day. But we're here to talk about something which is near and dear to my heart and should be to yours. It's what happens when families who are at risk are confined to their homes for a long period of time, what you can do about it. I'm going to let her talk about the specifics of what's happening in the area of child abuse. So without further ado, I'd like to introduce to you Raina Rose. Raina, how are you today?
Good. Thank you, Doug, for having me on the show. It's an honor.
You bet. You bet. So this topic of child abuse is not a very pleasant one. So we're gonna try to bookend a little bit of what's going on, why it's getting worse, and what you and myself and a bunch of other people are going to do about it. So I'll let you just lead. Go ahead, Brennan.
Right. So, of course, a lot of us went into lockdown. I was telling you the other day, I was actually at a monastery when it happened, just sitting in silence for 5 days. So I came down to messages saying, we're in lockdown. Are you okay? Everybody's panicking, right? And a lot of kids that are in abusive homes, the only place they actually had to go to be safe was school, to after school programs, to all these things, as well as, of course, food and things like that. And so I came down, started working with our mutual friend, Lucas Roback, who we worked on a book project before, and we had talked about creating a summit online. And we said, you know what? There's so many speakers that are completely out of work because all the live events are canceled. People are at home panicking, and they need this information that the speakers have to give in business, in wellness, in different areas. And then we said, we also want to make sure we raise money for a charity. And we didn't know which one. We said, it will come. And I brought in one speaker, and he said, you need to choose child help. And we said, okay, why? He said, child abuse is actually up by over 30% since lockdown. And kids are locked in with their abusers. They have nowhere to go. They can't go to school. And parents, a lot of parents out there realize it started out like, woohoo, we're home and having fun. But when you're trying to work and your kids are home and things are going a little crazy, there's parents out there that are snapping. And there's a story that we'll get into. I don't know. And like parents are calling the hotline saying, I'm going to hurt my children. Please stop me. And so this child help organization that we've chosen, they have a national hotline. It's 1-800-4A-CHILD. And people can text or call that at any time. They have kids texting because, sometimes the abuser's in the other room. They can't call. And they can call and text that at any time. There's masters or above professionals that are on the line, able to get them the resources they need and deploy that immediately. And so we really felt that this was the organization we want to support. And so we're doing this event as also a fundraiser for them.
Nice. And how did you come up with this idea? What was it that said, hey, I want to do something about it?
About the child abuse?
Well, the child abuse, and then putting together the summit, right? Where you did
so the summit, yeah. So, we had, he created, Lucas, I was in this book with him, Natural and Organic Healing. And I actually only participated in this book because it was guaranteed to be a bestseller. And I said, really? Guaranteed, hot? And so, and he just blew us out of the water and ramped it up. And I have another book coming out. So I'm like, well, when my new book comes out, now I'm going to have international best-selling author on this book, right? And it was just such a great project to be a part of. But he did one event with a couple hundred people in Milwaukee, which I could have gone to Milwaukee's, but I said, could we do one online? Because there are authors from all different countries in this book. It'd be great if we could have one where we can all participate. And so we were planning on doing that in September. But once the pandemic hit, again, we just saw the problem with, we're speakers, and we know that speakers right now, you've got nowhere to go but online. And all people's paid speaking things are gone for the most part. And then again, there's the people at home. I'm seeing posts of people having a really tough time dealing with lockdown. I mean, not everybody likes to spend time 5 days in silence like I do, like, and so getting home, being with yourself, maybe being with your kids going crazy, not being able to get out and do the things you normally do to distract the mind. There's a lot of self work that needs to happen, but not everyone has the tools to do that. And I've always said, like, it's great to be self aware and I'm all for it. But if you don't have the proper tools and the proper professionals to kind of help you open Pandora's box, if it's been 30, 40, 50 years and you've never really opened that, that's not something to do on your own. And some people are kind of being forced there's a lot to open that box before they were ready and without the tools that they need to do that safely. And so again, that's where we've got the child helpline, even for parents. If things are coming up and they need help, they could call 1-800-4-A-CHILD and help.
To be clear, I put it in the comments just now, but it's 1-800, the number 4,
yes,
letter A, and child, just to be clear.
So that's correct.
All right. Yeah, this is great. And then you have some data on the child abuse stuff, and this nonprofit, which I think you said lost $1.5 million in funding recently.
That's correct. Yes, their in-person events is where they've raised all their money, right? And so people can come, they can see what's going on, and there's no in-person events. I mean, basically everything's canceled until further notice right now. Mm-hmm. And so we are so happy. The more we learn about this charity and all the incredible work they do, they're in places I didn't even know. I was talking to someone from the Orthodox Church, and they said, yes, Child Help comes here and actually trains anybody who works with children in the church to be certified how to work with children, to be able to spot predators so that's not happening in the church, to be completely trained on working with children and spotting the people who shouldn't be working with children. So Child Help comes in and does that in organizations like churches as well. So they're protecting children in all capacities that they can. Some of the statistics are every 10 seconds, a report of child abuse is made. And this isn't like spanking your child. This is like, I told you the other day that there was a parent that called in and said, I'm about to throw my child in a boiling pot. Stop me. And there was a trained professional on the line who was able to deploy the resources necessary to stop this person from harming their child. And thank goodness they had the wherewithal to at least call the number. They had a resource to stop themselves from doing something irrevocable. Yeah. And so every 10 seconds, a report of child abuse is made. 5 children die every day. Every day. There's 5 kids that die as a result of child abuse. And so these are mind-boggling things because they're not talked about. Because people, the parents certainly aren't going to talk about it. We keep these things under the rug, behind closed doors, hush, hush, because they're, honestly, if you go to the Child Help website, childhelp.org, you can read their story. You can go to their Facebook page, and it's hard not to be in tears in just a few minutes. Really, you start reading some of the story. And the thing with Child Help that you might not have heard them before is they, of course, have to protect the identity of the children. So it's not like other organizations where you could see pictures of them out helping people, or you see pictures of this, because they can't post pictures of these children, of course, because they're protecting their identities. So they're a little less like out in the open, although they have a lot of star power behind them. They have Shaq, Betty White, John Stamos, different stars that John Stamos hosts their Christmas party for the kids in one of the orphanages every year. It's called a village, and they some of the really abused kids end up going to this village, and they have therapists and all kinds of things to help them through the trauma. And John Stamos comes and hosts that every year, the Christmas party, and the kids do plays for him and things. They get to show him their acting ability. So Child Help is really going out there, and they're taking these kids that end up coming into police stations, and they've created, and I wish I knew the name of everything, and I'll definitely connect you with the Child Help organizers. We're so excited to just be a part of raising money for them right now. But they've created safe places so that when the kids come into the police station, they're not being asked 20 people to repeat their story. If you know anything about trauma, when people repeat their stories, they're often re-traumatizing and reliving that event. And so what they do is they bring them into a place, they record their story on film so that all the experts can watch the kids' stories. And the kids don't have to repeat it over and over, and then they go into the healing process rather than continuing to be traumatized. And then they've created kind of like a playground area for these kids to come in and have a safe environment rather than sitting in a police station where they're the victim and they're, sitting in a police station. And so raising money for this too, they're not everywhere right now. There's still kids in a lot of places in this nation that go to a police station because there's not these child health facilities. So they're trying to expand more and more. And again, right now, 1.5 million of what they would have normally had is out the window from live events. So they want to go the 1.5 million and beyond so that every kid who would have come into a police station will come into a nice environment with love, that they have the resources to not have to be re-traumatized with their stories over and over and over again. And I personally, I go to some orphanages overseas, and I see kids who, I haven't seen the kids in America, but I've seen kids overseas that have had their faces burned off by family members, boiling water, and have experienced this kind of abuse. And when I was interviewing the child health staff for my show, it was really hard not to tear up because I've seen these kids.
Yeah. Okay, so on that happy note, let's talk about what we're going to do here with this virtual summit and how people can do two things. They can, number one, they can contribute and make a difference in the life of a single child and benefit themselves personally. Let's talk about the summit for a minute.
Yes, so the summit is honestly, it could be the only personal development tool you'll ever need, because the speakers here, we have Sharon Lechter, for instance, who, if you've ever heard of the book Rich Dad, Poor Dad, if you've ever read anything from Napoleon Hill, like Sharon Lechter is behind so many things that you know about, you just didn't know it was Sharon Lechter. And so she is one of our keynote speakers. We have just incredible speakers from business and wellness, finance, basically to be well in all areas of life. One thing that I teach a lot with my clients, because I've realized, until you've got Maslow's hierarchy of needs, as far as you're feeling safe and secure that you can pay the bills and keep a roof over your head, it's really hard to get to self-actualization at the top. So we have people coming in and talking about, digital marketing, because a lot of us, if our business wasn't totally in the digital world before, it needs to be now, right? And so people who teach how to build a website on Wix, you can come and learn how to build your website. People who are teaching meditation techniques so that if you are freaking out, your kids are running around the house like crazy, you could take, a couple minutes in the bathroom to yourself and just meditate for a second, but you have the tools and techniques. We have hundreds of hours of people speaking, and you get this content for $19. And in the spirit of COVID-19, we know not everybody's doing financially well, so we made it a no-brainer. Under $20, you can come and an all-access pass, and you'll have access to these recordings too, so don't worry if you can't sit in front of your computer 12 hours a day for 5 days. There's multiple sessions going on at once. So, I've never seen an offer like this. In fact, I think because it's $19, people think that can't even be true, but it is. And so we're asking, it's only $19, but there's a donate button on our webpage, and it goes to the Critical Relief Fund. And 100% of anything through that donate button in the Critical Relief Fund goes directly to child health and saving these kids. So, but again, your value for less than $20, it's hundreds of hours of thought leaders and experts in their field teaching you how to do things for your wellness, for your business. That would cost you probably at least $10,000 if you were to buy each course individually.
Easy,
So
great. All right, great.
And then it's tomorrow, so sign up today if you want to go to the class.
Sign up today. I'll put the link in the comments below this video on Facebook, but go ahead and tell the audience what it is in case it's on another channel here.
Yeah. So we'll get the link up there, but it's www.thewellnessfair.org. So that's www.thewellnessfair.org.
Nice. Awesome. Raina, thank you so much for your service, for your energy, for all the work you and Lucas are doing on this. I am very honored to be part of it, and I encourage all my friends and relatives and even people that don't like me to come on and join this thing. Go find a couple speakers you might want to listen to, learn from, and make a difference in the life of a child. Thank you so much. Appreciate it.
Thank you, Doug.
And we'll go ahead and play a little out.
Well, that was easy.